scorching heat again today. Maybe near record breaking for southern Minnesota in the Twin Cities, but north of that, cloudier, cooler, and everybody gets cooler as we head into the end of the week and the weekend. So I'm about just 10-20 miles north of the warm front here in northwestern Wisconsin, about 40 miles as the crow flies from the Twin Cities, and quite the difference, 20-degree temperature difference and cloud cover and fog here. That front started to shift south again in the overnight and early morning hours, and that really fogged in a lot of central Minnesota, northwestern Wisconsin, up into northeastern Minnesota, and really setting the stage for another big contrast in temperatures. Now, we'll burn it off here, and it will get hot, but not nearly as hot as what the Twin Cities will see, and of course southern Minnesota. So this is where the warm front was early Wednesday morning. I drew a red line on here, and yeah, huge contrast in temperatures, dew points, and a wind shift. Winds out of the northeast, north of the front, and straight out of the south, south of it. And the front will move back northward again, but it did retreat overnight. That is common with some of these almost stationary boundaries, that we do see them kind of move back and forth depending upon night or day. The sun pretty strong, heats things up, and that allows the air to expand again northward and burn off the cloud cover and fog. So yesterday's high, 98 degrees, broke a 52-year record. It was the hottest day this summer, hottest August day in 22 years, our 25th 90-degree day, and the top heat index at MSP Airport reached 114 degrees. Pretty incredible. Definitely scorching heat. But also, of course, humidity was a huge factor. The dew point reached 79, just 3 degrees away from our all-time record high dew point in the Twin Cities set in 2011. And we also set a record warm overnight low. Early this morning, the temperature only dropped to 80 degrees. And as we've been talking about the last couple of days, hallmarks of climate change, Climate Central's Climate Shift Index shows that yesterday's high temperatures were made at least 50% more likely due to human-caused climate change, to as much as twice as likely, and an even bigger climate impact on this morning's 80-degree low, especially this late in the season, 2 to 4 times more likely because of the warming trends we've been seeing across the globe and regionally. So this is a look at heat index yesterday. This is at 4 p.m. So basically the peak heat indices we had in central and southern Minnesota, 110 to 115 degrees, some spots getting close to 120. And of course, the actual temperatures were impressive too. 98 in the Twin Cities, as mentioned. A few spots did hit 100 in west central Minnesota. In fact, 103 was the hot spot in Canby, Minnesota. But several places did hit 100 degrees. Redwood Falls, Lac Parle Airport, Appleton, Montevideo, Marshall hit 102. Again, those are the actual air temperatures yesterday. Well, most of us were in the mid to upper 90s. And the dew points, of course, were thoroughly impressive too. Something we haven't seen a lot of this summer. This is only our third instance of dew points in the 70s this summer, and our most humid air we've seen, thanks to finally getting some rainfall the last couple of weeks. Dew points were well into the 70s. As I mentioned, a few places were in the low 80s, southwestern Minnesota on Monday, and then more widespread in southern Minnesota yesterday. So we did reach our peak dew point of the year thus far. At the very end of this chart, this shows peak dew point each day for the year. Obviously, those dew points are considerably lower in the winter months. We do have that excessive heat warning still Wednesday, and then it will turn to a heat advisory, which is a notch below the excessive heat warning. Still hot tomorrow, but more heat advisory criteria where those heat indices will be in the mid to upper 90s and not quite the triple digits that once again we'll see today. But even today will be a little bit better than what we saw yesterday. I think the heat index will be close to 110 at times, but not into the 110s at least. And tomorrow we're looking more like 90, so just a few degrees warmer than the actual temperature. So the heat dome kind of shrinks, subsides a little bit. It doesn't go away though, but kind of shifts to the southwest, and that's going to give us a break from the heat as we head into the weekend and early next week. Some of the models do bring back in the heat again late next week. We'll have to keep our eye on that, but it's a mixed bag. Some models do not. A disturbance is going to touch off some showers and thunderstorms in North Dakota. Those will kind of fizzle out, but northern Minnesota might have a thunderstorm or two tonight. A little bit better chance of maybe some spotty showers or thunder on Friday, especially in the morning. Looks like a kind of a disorganized system, however. And then maybe a little better chance Monday, Tuesday. We're going to need it after these hot, dry days without much rainfall here after making some progress. So there's Monday morning for the European model showing some of those showers and thunderstorm chances. But another excessively hot day today. still pretty warm tomorrow if you're headed out for the first day of the fair. Can't believe that's already here. But it will be nicer through the weekend. I bet the fair is going to be packed Saturday and Sunday with those temperatures, more comfortable readings, sunshine, beautiful. I think rain and thunder chances hold off until early next week.